Howdy folks, my name is Janaki.
And this is Madame Bathsheba.
And together we are Catomancy Tarot. So welcome, it's been a minute. I thought I would hop on to do a third and perhaps final for now addition to my Oracle Quest series. So if you haven't seen those earlier videos, I'll link them below. But basically, in the second half of this year, I've really wanted to hone in on my Oracle deck collection and find more oracles that work for me. Basically, I find it a lot harder to find good oracles than good tarot decks, and I wanted to really consciously go about acquiring some more oracle decks that would really fit into my practice and oracles that I really enjoy. So with that, today we're going to take a look at this latest batch of oracle deck acquisitions. And I'm feeling for now that this might be a little bit of a capstone or a final video in this series as the new year comes around. I think I've done a pretty good job of searching out and finding all of the oracle decks that interest me, or there's some that just came out that I'll show you today, and there's some that's been out for ages and I've just never gotten on board with until now. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look of what I've got in this batch.
Alright, first of all, forgive me if my lighting isn't great. I can never seem to film with the daylight. There's just not a lot of daylight anymore, and I can never quite manage to film when the sun's still out. Alas! But anyways, I thought I would take you through my new oracle acquisitions. So the first one I want to start with is one that was recommended by so many people and has been on my radar for so long. And you might not believe that I don't already have it, but I didn't. And that's the Outgrow Yourself Oracle. And this is a very, very well-loved oracle. So I thought, hey, let me give it a go. And so I went ahead and got it. And I edged it in this kind of yellow golden color. I saw, I'm a copycat. I think I saw the yellow edges on Sylvie from Tarot Magpie's channel, and they look so cute. So I had to do a copycat, and I'm happy with it. So if you are familiar, this is a oracle based on the Thoth Tarot, which I think is a really interesting idea. So you get, for all the majors, you get the proper title, but then we get these cute little taglines for each of them. And then for all of the minors, we get the Thoth keywords here, but you don't get the actual card number. And so as I was going through and working with these, I have to admit, Thoth isn't my number one system. I still dig it. But it's an occasional sometimes thing for me, and I don't have all the keywords memorized. I know a lot of them. Oppression, like this feels very, very either wands or swords, and it's a 9 or 10. So what I did is I was inspired by the recent Ritual Tarot Marked Edition, which, if you haven't seen it, oh gosh, I had to get the marked edition. I'm probably gonna sell off one of my other copies because I was just like really stoked about it. But she had this brilliant idea to put the titles of the cards on the backs. So this is the extra card. So nothing there. But if you look on the backs, you can find the titles, King of Pentacles. So I thought I would do something similar with my copy of Outgrow Yourself. And I went ahead, and on the backs we've got all of these hands. Can you spot it? There it is. Look, 10 of Wands. I was close. I would have gotten there, right? So I went through, and I know this is the 7 of Cups, debauch, right? And so I went ahead and just kind of marked it for myself, and I don't think it's super distracting. You can't really tell, and it's mostly like it's there if I want to check. So that's what I've done with this one, and honestly, I do like the illustrations, but I find that this deck, it reads more like a tarot deck than an oracle deck to me. And I don't know if anyone else has had a similar experience with it, where because it gives you it gives you the tarot correspondences, I often find that those overshadow the little messages, and I feel like the messages just add a little something to the tarot meaning. So it feels like the messages kind of support the tarot, and so I feel like the questions, or like the little messages, for me just feel a little bit secondary, which is okay. Like, I still really enjoy using this, but to me this feels more like a tarot deck than an oracle deck, and I wonder if that's the case for anyone else. There's some of them, you know, some of them, sometimes it feels a little bit kind of like repetitive, like sometimes with a lot of them are asking about different aspects of growth, which is cute. Or this one is about like different cards on limitations. So to me, the little messages, yeah, I don't know. They don't feel, some of them don't feel like, I guess, strong enough to stand as on their own as an oracle deck. And if we didn't get the tarot associations in this deck, I don't know how often I would use it. So for me, this feels like a tarot deck, and I'm curious if anyone else has had that experience. I still have been enjoying it, and I picked up another oracle deck specifically to kind of use along with this one, and that's the 50 Plants That Heal. Now this was a complete and total impulse buy. I think this is like an $11 mass market deck, and it's cute, and I had to go for it. So it's a photographic deck where we get all the bits of all the plants kind of all splayed out, and they're really cute. And then on the back we get a little something about lavender, some benefits, some different ideas for uses, and yeah, it's cute. Earlier this summer I got the I got this guy. Ooh. The Wild Alchemy Lab, and I think I prefer this one just visually over this one, but now I have something that works in different colorways. And this isn't kind of meant to be it's a deck of medicinal plants, so it's not sort of its first intention isn't as an oracle, but I use it kind of just as a sort of supplementarily to add some, plant vibes. It's mostly just a very vibey deck for me. We can see what it looks like. I think it's really cute. I think it's really cute. So I think this has been a fun vibe. And then the other deck that's I've had for ages that I also kind of felt belonged in this mix is, of course, the Dirt Gems. And this is my first edition copy with the terrible box. Still haven't made a bag for this one. Maybe I should. Ooh. But I feel like these two together have been, I'm sure people have done this. I'm so sure this is a known pair, but I've been doing some some bedtime draws with these two, and I really like this combo. But when I use these two together, I'm using Dirt Gems as the Oracle, and I'm using Outgrow Yourself as a tarot. And that's been working for me. So yeah, I dig these two, and then so, you know, you can do a you can draw in this one, and then you have kind of three. Oh yeah, look at that. I think this is a family. In my head, these decks are all now a family. Sorry about that glare. So those are my, and it's also kind of, it's the dark time of the year. So, you know, I think my next basket video is going to be talking about some of my decks I like to use when it gets awful dark and sad outside. And so these decks with their black backgrounds, and sort of comforting messages and kind of like images of the outdoors, like, it's okay, the outside is still there. You'll get there eventually. Yeah, so that's these guys. So that's what I've been up to with those. Yeah, but I am curious to hear if for anyone else, if the Outgrow Yourself kind of mostly feels more tarot-y than oracle-y to anyone else. Oh, and there was one other pairing that I wanted to try. And this was a pairing that I saw on Sylvie's channel, Tarot Magpie, and this is Tarot del Fuego. And this is my, I cut the white borders off the sides, and I'm wondering if these would be good friends too. And I think she's right. I think this is great. I haven't used these together yet. Let's do a better job at, let's just do a better job here. Yeah, I think these go really well together. I'll have to give these a shot. I love this Ace of Cups so much. I think this is a really excellent Ace of Cups. I think that's great. Yeah, so this is another pairing option that feels right to me. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the mood recently has been like dark, but with some intense color. I don't know. That's just how I feel about Sagittarius season, I guess. All right, so that is that. And then the next deck I want to talk about is kind of keeping in the dark theme of decks that have some kind of like black borders. And the next deck I'm going to show you is the Wild Goddess Oracle by Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. I'm a huge fan of this duo. I have a couple different editions of, sometimes it's called the Zerner Farber Tarot, sometimes it's called the Enchanted Tarot, and this is my first oracle of theirs. It's been on my radar for a while, but sometimes, I don't know, it was one of those decks that I knew it was cute and I just never picked it up. But I've been digging it, and the thing I actually love the most about this deck is its size. Its size is so cute. Let's see here. We can do this. So here's Outgrow Yourself, which is kind of standard tarot size, and so it's a little bit shorter and then a little bit wider, if you can see that. And I am desperate to find like a tarot deck that's also this size, because I think this size is like super cute and I love this size so much. So this is a deck, it's like 44 archetypes, and they're not, it's kind of, it gives me, it's in the same vein as the, oh, you know, geez, it's Dark and Starry Out Goddess Tarot. It's not what it's called at all. Geez, what, you know the one I'm talking about. The We're All Goddesses in the Nighttime tarot deck that is now mass market. The Night Intuition. Oh boy. Oh, I'm really oof. You know the one I'm talking about. I hope. I'll put it on the screen when I remember. Oh, look at this little beaded lizard. I love that. I just love how textural her images are. And I don't know. I thought it was pretty cute. I will say, however, there's one card in this deck that gives me, ooh, I don't love it. So I keep it in the box. It's like, I think you're allowed to, like, you know, that card's not working for me, so I'm not going to use it in the deck. And that card is this one. It's the Survivor, and I think that there's a lot of interesting conversations that have been happening in the tarot sphere about how to do representation well in tarot decks. And on the one hand, like, you are including Native Americans in the deck, but at the same time, to, like, I don't know, to, like, make them an archetype of surviving genocide. Like, yes, we can celebrate that they've survived, but, like, to be reduced down to just that, I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure about this one. And then on the back, we get a little saying for all of these. You know, so I don't know how I feel about, I don't know, Native Americans becoming an icon for, you know, to be distilled only down to resilience and endurance, you know. With all of the genocide that's happening in the world right now, I've decided I don't want to deal with it. So I never take this card out of the box, and that's been what I've been doing. I don't know if anyone else has similar thought feelings about that one, but I think, you know, the intention was good. It just didn't quite sit right with me. But I do like all of the other cards that we've got going on here. And I've been really wanting to find another tarot deck that is this size, because I think this is a super cute size. I love this card. This card is great. So the decks I've been trying it out with, it doesn't look great with her, with the Zerner Farber Tarot for some reason. I think it's having to do with, like, the black borders. So the only deck I've found that kind of really works with it for me right now is the Mysteries of the Black Madonna. And so it's more kind of like they've both got some, like, feminine energy going on. So I think it works pretty well. So that's been cute. But it isn't, I don't find it's a great, like, general reader. So I feel like it has a very specific vibe going on for it. But I do really like it in this pairing. What do you guys think? I think it's cute. I've also maybe thought about using it with this guy, Daydreaming in Situ, again for those borders, and this is kind of more of a collage deck, and I think it still works okay. What do you guys think? I think it works. I kind of associate, I think about the Daydreaming in C2 deck as like a bit of a, it's a very European art museum kind of deck. Ooh, I like this. I like this. I think that's cute. Yeah, so that's how I've been kind of using that one. So I do overall, I do like this deck. I'm glad I finally pulled the trigger on it. I think it's a good addition to the Oracle collection, but I don't feel like it's a great general reader, and I feel like it's I'm having trouble, I guess, I don't know, finding things that it goes really well with, aside from the pairings that I just showed you. Next up, we're getting to my favorite deck of this recent Oracle. I don't know if it's a haul, because I acquired these over the past like 3 or 4 months. But the one that I've been most stoked about out of all of them is this one. This is the Abaton Keys, a Dream Healing Oracle deck. And now, back in October, I was able to do some traveling for some conferences. And there was a conference an academic conference I was going to that actually wasn't too far away from Meg at Rose Honey Ritual. So I got to go hang out with her, which was super dope. And I loved it so much. And when I was there, she had just gotten this deck in. And so I got to see this right around the time that she posted a flip through of this. And oh man, oh boy. So if you recall my first video when I was talking about wanting to kind of work on expanding my Oracle collection, this is exactly the kind of deck that I was looking for. I wanted I wanted more general readers, and this is a great general reader, but even though it has like it has a bit of a specific purpose that I'll get into in a second. And I was also like, I wanted some, my cat says hello. She says hello. I wanted, I wanted a general reader, and I also wanted something that felt kind of cute and soft and gentle and very new agey, but not in like a toxic positivity kind of way. And this is this is it. And it's a collage deck. I love a collage deck. It's got 4 suits, and the story behind it is actually really, really cool. And I cannot stop thinking about it. And I've been using this deck all the time. And like this deck has like skyrocketed into like my top Oracle decks of the year, but also like into my top Oracle decks ever. And I just love it so much. So let me, if you're not familiar, I think, if you haven't seen, I think both Meg and Thea have talked about this deck already. But the idea is, so the Abaton is the room in a healing temple of ancient Greece, where dreamers would go to sleep with the hopes of meeting the god of healing, Asclepius, in their dreams and finding a cure for their physical, mental, and emotional ailments. I love that. I love that. I love the idea of sleep temples. And so the idea that I do a lot of tarot and oracle work around dreams, and to find another like really excellent dream deck is so great. But just like I'm obsessed right now with the idea of a sleep temple. And last year, when I got the opportunity to travel in Egypt with 22 Teachings, we went to the Dendera temple for Hathor. And that's another sleep temple. And that's another tradition where I believe dreamers would go onto the roof, and you would ask for dreams from Hathor for healing. And yeah, I just love this idea so much. And the guidebook for this is super, super cute. And it's actually really excellent. So let's just go ahead and cut the deck for ourselves and have a little card here. So we've got gratitude. So this, this could be a card. I feel like any New Agey Oracle deck is going to have a card about gratitude. So let's see if let's see what this guidebook has to say about it. So many as, having slept in the temple, make a sacrifice to Asclepius in return, and to Apollo, or so many as, having made a vow, make a sacrifice whenever they set up a sacred portion. So that's you get a little inscription from 380 BCE. All right. Paeans are hymns of praise and joy, and they were customarily offered in the temples along with sacrifices and offerings of thanksgiving, all with great ritual and especially with gratitude after a healing has taken place. So I love the little ancient world that we get. This is a deck that has 4 suits. We've got wisdom, which is air, drama, which is water, ritual, which is earth, and medicine, which is fire. And in each of the little bits, we get a little. I love context. I love the history. So, like in the wisdom, we're dealing with a lot of ancient Greek philosophers. In the drama, it's referencing a lot of the ancient Greek dramas. And then we get, with the ritual suit, we get some different sort of Greek divinities, and then in medicine it explores kind of the tradition of Asclepius a little bit more, and like that is so much meatier than I was expecting from like a cute little fluffy New Age oracle, right? I just think it's really good. And the only thing that I don't like about it are these backs. It's, as you can tell, it's a super high gloss cardstock, not the best. And the edges are already starting to chip because of how dark the backs are. And I don't love a title on the back of cards, but so we'll see. But this is a deck that I've considered rebacking, maybe in some, like, I don't know. The fronts are so like bright and pastel-y that the backs seem a little bit, a little bit of a mismatch for me. So I'm thinking about rebacking it in maybe some kind of like pastel-y marble, pinkish. I think some marble would be nice to go with the Greek sleep temples. But yeah, I'm super obsessed with the idea of sleep temples right now. And I do want to do a video for you soon about how specifically I use tarot and oracle for dream stuff. But for now, I thought I'd also do some deck pairings. Let's zoom this in a little bit. So we can see. So I think I tried pairing this with initially with Jumble Dance, and just like the thing about collage or collage decks is a lot of collage decks just play really well with other collage decks. So let's see here. So I think these guys work well together. What do you guys think? Did I zoom in a little too far? Oh, sorry. I'm a bit of a filming mess today. I'm a little bit out of practice. I think that works really well. I think it's cute. I think, you know, I also think about the Voyager would obviously work really well with that. And the other deck that I have enjoyed working with is, of course, here we go. The Spolia, which is my fave. I gotta trust that tower. I'm not sure. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But I don't know. I was talking to Meg about this, and she feels like, I don't know. Sometimes I like I like a pairing when the decks are like pretty samey, like they're pretty similar, like they have a very similar aesthetic. And I think she was I think she likes it when there's a little bit more of a contrast, which got me thinking. So I decided to try it with this deck, which is the Dream Dust Shamanic, which is a completely abstract deck. And it works well because it's also a dreamy deck. So I think this would be, I would definitely use both of these together, like in a dream reading, and I think it would work. I think it would work really well. What do you guys think? So we've got some options here. We've got some stuff going on. Yeah, so I've been playing around with it a lot. What have you gotten this one yet? If you have, what have you been pairing with? This is a deck that you have to order from her website. I believe she's Canadian, but the deck is like extremely affordable, which is very nice. But in order to order it, you have to like fill out a form on her website, and then she'll send you a PayPal invoice through email, and then you complete it, and then she'll mail it to you. It's super good. It's super good. This is like exactly what I was looking for. I wanted something. I wanted a softie that still had some substance to it, and I've just really been digging it a whole lot. So that is the Abaton Keys. And then the last deck I'm going to show you made a brief appearance in my last basket video, but I didn't give it a proper discussion really. And it's another deck that I got kind of to go with, that I got more intentionally around dream work, but this time around nightmare work. If you've been following me recently, one of my favorite decks from the year that I've gotten is the Vertigo Tarot, which is, I found an out-of-print copy, but I've been using this deck a lot, specifically to do some like nightmare stuff with, and I needed to find some oracles that would go and suit the purpose. And everyone loves this deck. This is another one that had been on my radar for ages, and I finally went for it. And I made it this this bag, which I think matches. I think it's a cute combo. And that's the Fallen Angels Oracle. And I went ahead and edged it in this funky combo, and I think it turned out really well. I like it a lot. This, I featured this in my kind of like my Halloween basket video about my kind of spooky goth decks. And visually, I think this is really fun. This feels like, you know, you're running through a graveyard on psychedelics. I think that's a good description of the visuals of this. And some people get this deck kind of to work specifically with the Goetia or the fallen angel guys, all the demon guys, and that wasn't my intention for this. I picked this up mostly for the vibes and for the keywords. So I know there's like a couple different ways to use this deck, and so that's what's been working for me. And I know this is a deck that sometimes it has repeat keywords, but the guidebook entries for each are a little bit different. But I've mostly been using it for the keywords and for the for the vibes, and it is a success in that I think it does go really well and it does do what I want it to do, which is kind of play nicely with this deck. Here we go. We've got some. I just really like these together, and I find that it's like it's a total mood. It's a total mood. It feels kind of like a grungy reverie, which is I think exactly what you want from a reading about going in and doing some nightmare work. So I don't have a whole much else to say about this one so far. I picked it up in October, and I've been using it on and off since then. So I haven't really. But November was so busy that I wasn't really doing a lot of readings. Because I was just really overwhelmed. But I'm glad I have this one finally, because it's this one and the Outgrow Yourself are both oracle decks that I know people super duper love, and have like recommended strongly. So I'm glad that I'm now now in the club, so to speak, with these two guys, and I'm happy that they're both in my collection. Though this one I feel like you have to be in the mood to use. Like you have to be for me it doesn't feel like an everyday any time of year deck. It's like it's a super vibey deck. That I would pull out like for a specific type of work. And then Outgrow Yourself, as I mentioned, feels more tarot-y to me. So I feel like the oracle use is a little bit secondary for me, which is okay. I'm still very like happy to have it, but it wasn't quite hitting my oracle quest itch. But the Abaton Keys is like exactly what I wanted and exactly what I was looking for, and I'm like super pleased. I have been thinking about getting there's a few more on the cheesy end of the oracle deck spectrum. Sometimes you just need something that's like very gentle and very cheesy, and there's a couple of them. Oh gosh, I'll have to. This is another one where like I can see it in my head, and I'm not going to remember what they're called. Uh, the kind of the very naturey ones by like James Wellness. Do you know what I'm talking about? So I might explore some of those, but I'm happy with this one for now. And the only other oracle deck that I am still like very excited about getting, it should be here tomorrow. So I might actually just like unbox it and show you it tomorrow, but it'll be in the same video, so you won't have to wait. And it's the Seashell Oracle, which was made by the same folks who made that Mushroom Oracle deck. And it looks great. It looks so beautiful. I saw it first on Sasha Lopez's channel, and she did like a sort of unboxing and kind of like pairing it with different things, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. So it should be here tomorrow, and I think I'll include it in this video just to kind of, but it'll just be like my first impressions. So here we are, a little bit later, and look, it's arrived. And I spent about a day with it, and I thought I would share my thoughts. This is the Seashell Oracle. It's made by the same folks who made the Mushroom Oracle, and you can find it at broccolimag.com. And spoiler alert, I really love it. I think it's super cute. And it's a deck that I didn't know I needed, but I really do. So it comes in this box, which is very cool. The production quality on this is very nice. It's a 44 card deck. I love the little shell that we get inside the box. And then we get a guidebook. And then we get 44 cards in 4 different suits. And first impressions is it's a really, really beautiful deck. I think it's kind of it's collagey, but it's also just very painterly. And it's so beautiful. It's really, really pretty. And I can't get over it. It's just so pretty. And I think this, if you didn't know, I'm a super duper Cancer. My sun, Venus, Mercury, and my South Node are all in Cancer. And this is like the Cancer deck, like par excellence, that I didn't know that I super needed. And I just wanted to share one passage from the guidebook with you because I think it's so perfect, and it's a really cute guidebook. I like it a lot. We get a little bit of an introduction, and then we get some really cool spreads that I'll talk about in a little bit. But the passage I wanted to read you. So as you might expect from a Seashell Oracle, it explores certain themes, which I really enjoy. So this is just a passage talking about those themes. It says, a shell enables a vulnerable creature to exist in the giant, volatile ocean. Contemplating them can guide us to truths about the armor we protect ourselves with, the boundaries we set, the homes we make, our hardest edges, and our most tender places. They are function meets form, perfect mathematical spirals, unveiling our patterns, our possibilities for growth, and the baggage we carry around. In their gleaming surface, shells hold mirrors to the way we adorn or disguise ourselves, how we attract and how we hide, like the eternal ammonite shells. Ammonite shells also reveal a history. They tell of loss and legacies, vestiges of the past, traces and transformations. Isn't that so beautiful? I think it's so good. And that's exactly what I want from a Seashell Oracle. It's really great. And then I think there's about 7 cute little spreads to do. I did the protection spell spread last night, and it was quite revealing. And it has this really, really cool spread here called the Shell Collection spread, which is pull 1 card per day for a month. Each time you pull a card, remove it from the deck and set it aside so that you never draw the same card twice. At the end of the month, study your collection. reflect on the cards you pulled and the cards you didn't. I think that's another like really cool idea for like a way to engage with an oracle deck that I haven't really heard before. I've heard of something like the Cantagee oracle walk, where you pull a card a week for a full year. But you kind of cycle through the whole deck when you do that. So this idea of, and it's also like thematically perfect. If you're kind of like combing through the beach, you're engaging with the material in a way that's the way you would engage with seashells, which I think is just a really cool idea. And I'm thinking, I think I might do this for Cancer season. So every day of Cancer season, I'm thinking I might pull a shell, and I'm stoked about it. Okay, so enough with the guidebook. I also find that I lied. Let's talk about the suits first. So in this deck, there are 4 suits. We have the seashells, and that's the largest suit in the deck. I think we get 18 cards for that. And then we have the ocean, the creatures, and the sea people. The sea people, we only get 6 sea people, but these are different archetypes of people who work in the sea. And there isn't a full flip through of this deck, so I thought I would just like really quickly do a quick flip through, and just know that I really dig this deck. So we're starting off with the we've got our shell suit, we've got mussels, scallop, triton, Venus comb, sand dollar, cowrie, prosperity, protection, trade. And just to give you an idea of what the guidebook sounds like for this, I read through a lot of the guidebook when I first got it, and I really like it. It's like short and sweet and simple. So for cowrie, with the prosperity, protection, and trade are keywords, and the guidebook tells us, spanning oceans and centuries, cowries have been used as counterfeit-proof currency, jewelry, and talismans for spiritual protection. Is something only valuable because it's rare, or can it be valuable because it's common? So a lot of them gives like a super brief history of human interaction with these shells, and then it poses sometimes it'll pose a short few questions. But I found one of the things I heard about the mushroom oracle that they did is sometimes the keywords felt a little disjointed, but I find that so far a lot of the keywords seem to like match the book descriptions pretty well and like make a lot of sense to me. We've got our clam, our happy as a clam. This one is super cool. Xenophora, hybridity, disguise, curation. So this is a critter that builds its shell through accretion of other elements. We've got our queen conch. Argonauta. This is sometimes some types of female octopi build this as like an egg sac to live in, and it's so cool. It's so beautiful. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. Fragility, fertility, sanctuary. I've drawn this card a couple times already. And glory of the seas. So those are our 18 shells, and it's the largest suit in the deck. And next we have cards of the ocean, and here we have the moon, which is also the image on the front of the box. And we have cycles, radiance, and council. You know, this is a very Cancer deck. I'm so glad it does have a moon card. The moon feels very appropriate. Got foam, salt, tide, Sand. Another one of my favorite images from this deck. I love all of the ancient ruins. We've got sunken treasure, sea glass, wave, pearl, and float. So those are our sea cards, and then we get into our ocean creatures. So other creatures, and we gotta have a crab, as I said. Super Cancer deck. This coral card is so beautiful, as is the seaweed card. I also feel like I love all of the sea that's depicted in this deck. Feels like the Mediterranean, because we've got all of these kind of like ancient structures going on. We've got a barnacle, we've got some plankton, gull, anemone, sponge, hermit crab. And those are our sea critters. And then lastly, we have our 6 sea people, starting with the beachcomber. And the beachcomber, it feels like this is the protagonist of the deck. Like you are the beachcomber in using this deck. So in a way, this feels kind of like the Fool in the tarot deck. It's the beachcomber in the Seashell Oracle. I don't know. I see some parallels there. Then we've got our lighthouse keeper. We have a siren, a sailor, a surfer, and a diver. And that's the deck. There we go. That's everybody. So I've really been digging it so far. I think it's so beautiful. Yeah, I really love it a lot. I love it a lot so far. And yeah, I think it also pairs well with a number of things. And it makes me, if you know any decks that have like ancient ruins, like it makes me want to find more like very painterly decks that have depictions of ruins in them to like do some fun pairings. The first pairing that I saw with this deck was from Sasha's video. And that was with the Adapt Tarot, which is this guy here. And I think it is a good pairing. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think it does go really well. I think the white space and the Adapt Tarot is always really interesting, and there's a lot of kind of natural elements going on in it already, so I think it works really well together. I think, again, this Seashell Oracle is just so beautiful. I think it's one of the prettiest oracles I've acquired this year. It's so pretty. I can't get over it. And then of course, because the borders on this are kind of cream colored, I had to also try it with the spolia, and again, I think it works really well together. Yeah, they're both very pretty. I think it works. I think it works. So I'm really happy about that. It's always nice to have more Oracle decks that goes with my favorite deck. And then I just wanted to quickly try a few more pairs. One thing I really wanted to try this with is the Dolly Tarot, because again, this Seashell Oracle feels like very painterly, and so I thought I had to try it with the Dolly Oracle, and it's so beautiful. And I think it's a success. I think they work really well together. Yeah, definitely. And the other thing I really love about this oracle with the ruins and everything is it reminds me of my favorite novel of recent times, which has been Piranesi by Susanna Clarke, in which the setting is this like a beautiful labyrinthine, like ancient Greek marble, like maze of a place, and through which the sea kind of washes in and out. And like this is that world. This is exactly that world. And I can't get enough. I love this little tail going on. Let's see. Yeah, I think these guys are friends. Right? I think that works really well. Yeah, and so it makes me want to be on the lookout for more kind of very painterly decks. I've been thinking one thing it would go really, really well with is that new, is it the Odyssean Tarot or is it the Odyssean Tarot? I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's the new. It's on Etsy. It's a new Greek mythology deck that I think would go really well. But I've also thought about using it with another kind of like water themed deck, which is the Abyssal Tarot, which is an underwater photography deck, just because they both have very watery vibes. And what do you guys think? I think it's interesting. I like it at least has some like I don't know, interesting contrasts. These both feel like very cancery decks to me. So like energetically it feels like a match, even though they're visually kind of like very different styles, but they both feel like very soft and very romantic, even though sometimes this deck can have some hard edges. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. Also, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Yeah, so I think that's all the pairs I was gonna show you. Maybe I guess the only other one I was thinking about is maybe the Ritual Tarot. And let's see here. Mostly because the Ritual Tarot is a deck that has a lot of like ancient ruins going on. So if you know any other like decks that are very painterly that have a bunch of ruins in them, please let me know. I'm like kind of desperate to find some. And I think this is okay. I think it works sometimes. But I can see it. I can see it working. Especially these two. I think that's a really good pair. In any case, thanks for joining me for my Oracle Quest video. This part of the video got a little bit long, but that's okay because I'm low-key obsessed with this Oracle deck right now. That's what happens when I get a deck in for the first time, is I get super obsessed. But look at this! See, this is exactly what I want. Look at these, look at that. Oh, I love that so much. And sand, and the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, this is beautiful. This is so good. We're gonna end right here. I'll see you guys all soon. Bye for now.